Hello. During our task today, we are going to continue working with our Setup Tables tab. We're going to work on our Common Destinations table today. Now, the Common Destinations table is a little different than the tables that we have been working with over the last several tasks. This table is a grid, and so we're going to learn how easy it is to enter in your information into a grid table. Now, before we get into the setup, let's look at where the destinations show up on your trip request forms. On your trip request forms, there will be a section for the destination, this main destination, and there will be a drop down that will provide for your requesters all of the common destinations where your district may travel. Now notice here in my example, my schools in my district are listed in the common destinations, and they will be there automatically. You do not have to list your schools in your district in your common destinations. But any other destinations where your schools may travel, these may be curriculum-based destinations. They may be other schools in other districts that you play in sports, your conference sports plays. So you want to come up with a list of common destinations where your schools travel. And the reason that you want to fill in your common destinations table is so that they do have this drop down that will allow them to very quickly and very easily pick the destination where they're traveling. They don't have to key in any addresses or anything like that. The addresses are part of the table so that when they go to print their directions or driving directions, then the address is correct and accurate. So that's what we're working on today, our common destinations. Now I always encourage my districts, at the very least, try to provide us with the other schools that your district plays in sports. And the reason for this is, of course, there are going to be many athletic trips entered in, much more than probably your field trips, just because there's so many teams and they play a lot of games. And what this is going to do is make it a whole lot quicker for your coaches or your athletic directors who are submitting the athletic request to pick where they're going, so they don't have to type in the name of the school and the address. So let's use at least that, and if you have a list of other common destinations where you travel, maybe more curriculum based, then you can add those in too. So let's go ahead and talk about the Common Destinations table. It is in our Setup Tables tab. And you're going to scroll down to the section Destinations and choose the Common Travel Destinations option here. And you're going to see a grid. Now, this is my demo. It's already got a lot of destinations in it. When you begin with Travel Tracker, this will be empty. There won't be anything in your table. You'll be starting from scratch. There is a video working with grid setup tables that you're welcome to watch. It'll give you some pointers and suggestions for how you're going to work with the grid. For our purposes today, for this task, we're just going to talk about how do I get destinations into the table. So all of these buttons and things like that, you'll learn more about those, but for today's task, we're just going to focus on getting the destination in the table. And it's very easy. You're going to find this so simple to do. We give you a button, New Destination. So you'll simply click to open that destination. And then you fill in the table. One of the fields here is category, and you do have a drop down to select the category that your particular destination falls into, and so maybe you can choose one of these. Maybe this is going to be a school, and then you would just simply type in or copy and paste from a spreadsheet that you may have the name of the school, and so maybe this is going to be Webb Middle School, and then the address is perhaps 700 Oak Street in maybe in Hickory, and we'll go ahead and put it in North Carolina. Okay, and that's all you have to do. That's all that's required. If you would like to include an email of maybe your contact person at that location, or a phone number of the person at that at that location, we do have a way for you to attach the certificate of liability. Some districts have those with some of their destinations where they go. You can add that, an expiration date, but all you really have to have is the name of the place, the address, and then you would just simply click active to add that to your list, and then click the submit button. So that's going to add that destination to our table, and that's as easy as it can get. Now, I do want to just mention one thing about the categories. We do have some categories already entered into your system that you can work with, and you can put your destinations into one of these categories. Now, if you would like to add a different category that's not listed to accommodate a particular destination, you certainly are welcome to do that and add that to your drop down. The way that you would do that, we're still in our setup tables. Just above the common destinations is your destination categories table. And so if you wanted to create a new category to add to that drop-down list when you're creating your common destinations, you would simply do that here. And so maybe you needed a common destination category of maybe a farm. And so if we wanted to create a new destination category, you can come in and add maybe a farm to your category. That will add that to that list, so that when we enter in our common destination that is a farm, we have that in our drop down. So if we were going to enter in a farm, now it's there. And we can put in the maybe the apple farm, and put in our destination address, active, and submit. And that's all there is to it to start creating your common destinations. Now, I will mention that if you have lots of destinations and you would like for us to import your common destinations into the travel tracker for you, and you don't want to manually enter them, we will certainly be glad to do that. In your task, you will have an attachment that includes a Excel worksheet, and you can provide the categories and the names and the addresses of your destinations in that worksheet, and just import or fill that out and send that to your implementation specialist, and the implementation specialist will import all of your common destinations into this particular setup table, and you won't have to do that piece manually. But if you don't have that many and you want to go ahead and enter them in yourself, or if you would have to create a spreadsheet, maybe this would just be just as easy if you're going to have to create the spreadsheet. So it's kind of up to you what works best. We'll certainly import them for you if you already have that information available. If not, you can enter it in yourself. And remember, we will give you training on how to use and work with your grid setup tables later. But for now, our task is just to create those common destinations and add them into the table. Thanks. I hope you have fun creating your common destinations.